Israel Adesanya backs down from early stoppage claims. Israel Adesanya was defeated for the first time in his career at 185 pounds against Alex Pereira at UFC 281. The last stylebender was TKO'd in the 5th round as Poirier snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. Adesanya was 3-1 up on all 3 judges' scorecards heading into the final round. However, he was caught with a series of powerful punches from Pereira that led to Mark Goddard calling an end to the bout. At first, he criticized Goddard's decision of stopping the fight, even asking to bring Steve Mazzagatti back given the veteran referee's tendency for stepping in only at the very last moment. But now he has backed down from those claims. Here's what he had to say to ESPN reporter Megan Oliveira.
In the moment, yes, but I think I trust my coaches and my manager, Ash, when they said, it was a good stoppage.
Israel Adesanya will hope to avenge his loss to Alex Pereira, and plans for an immediate rematch have been whispered. The last stylebender is second in all-time title defenses at middleweight. The former champion will want to reinstate his authority at 185 pounds as soon as he can. Dana White shares thoughts on Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira, UFC 281 stoppage. UFC President Dana White weighed in on the late-round conclusion to Alex Pereira's win over Israel Adesanya at UFC 281. During the UFC 281 post-fight press conference, White gave his thoughts on the ending of Adesanya versus Pereira.
Were you okay with the stoppage in the main event?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the stoppage. You just said it now. I don't know. I mean, he was hurt. He obviously wasn't out, but he seemed pretty hurt to me.
White also went on to point out that an immediate rematch between Adesanya and Pereira is on the table following UFC 281. Pereira earned the title shot after 3 fights in the UFC. He earned wins over Sean Strickland, Bruno Silva, and Andreas Michailidis en route to the title shot. Adesanya held the UFC's number 2 spot on the pound-for-pound list, with recent title defenses over Robert Whittaker and Jared Cannonier. His loss to Pereira is his second-ever mixed martial arts defeat. The controversy surrounding the Adesanya and Pereira stoppage isn't as divisive as other questionable UFC endings, although it may partially add to the case for an immediate rematch between them. Do you think we'll see the rematch soon? Write down your thoughts in the comments. Pereira credits his UFC 281 victory to his corner. Heading into the 5th round of their UFC 281 title bout, Alex Pereira was down on all the scorecards with Israel Adesanya, picking him apart and hurting him on multiple occasions. Much like he did in their second kickboxing match, Pereira found it in himself to pull off another insane comeback, this time winning the UFC middleweight title in the process. Corner audio from that pivotal round has been released, showing Pereira's coaches giving him crucial advice. Pereira got both a motivational speech and quality technical instructions right before he went out for the final stanza.
I'm gonna tell you something. For you to, it's 1 round for you to be a world champion. 5 minutes. Enough. You need to get to him. You need to approach him. Okay? You need to have knock him out. Listen, you need to knock him out. Listen, always with a stance with a high guard. Listen, he's feeling what you're getting. Listen, you only have 1 round. Active with your defense and combos, 2, 3 strikes. You have to. You just 1, 2. All right, breathe right now. You're going to be a world champion right now. This round is yours. Go for it.
Just 2 minutes after that passionate plea to his pupil, Pereira stopped Adesanya on his feet to claim the crown. The decorated kickboxer is now the UFC middleweight champion after just 8 mixed martial arts fights and only 4 in the UFC. Pereira is now 3-0 against Adesanya across 2 sports, ending that 4-year title reign in the process. Dustin Poirier reveals what he told Michael Chandler in Octagon. Former interim UFC lightweight champion Dustin Poirier has hit back at Michael Chandler's accusations of not being graceful in victory. After the fight, Chandler accused Poirier of being a poor sport following their UFC 281 clash. Though Poirier's anger seemed to stem from an apparent fishhook during a grappling exchange. During his UFC 281 post-fight press conference, Poirier told reporters what he said to Chandler immediately after the fight.
I told him this is my house. That's what I told him. I said this is my house. You know, that's it. And I told him he's a dirty motherfucker too, for putting his fingers in my mouth and blowing his nose, and you know, it's all good.
Poirier's words to Chandler weren't all negative though. The Diamond also went on to say that shortly before being announced the victor, he also admitted to Chandler that he was scared to fight him, meaning that it was a fight that made him feel a healthy sense of anxiety and urgency that comes along with truly dangerous fights. Poirier bounced back in a big way with the win after falling to Charles Oliveira at UFC 269 last December. He could potentially earn the next title shot against whoever wins between Islam Makhachev and Alex Volkanovski. What do you think is next for Dustin Poirier? Let us know in the comments. Michael Chandler urges Conor McGregor to fight him upon UFC return. Michael Chandler has called out Conor McGregor in the aftermath of his submission loss to Dustin Poirier at UFC 281. With the notorious set to make his Hollywood debut, Chandler accepted that there are now more things to lure the Irishman away from the Octagon. But Chandler has implored McGregor to return to his first love, cage fighting. This is what Iron had to say at his UFC 281 post-fight media scrum.
Yeah, get on it, man. We all know that fighting is his first love. Exactly 6 years ago today, November 12th, 2016, he became the double champion. He apologized to absolutely nobody, and it was absolutely awesome. He's a legend in the sport, man. He's the biggest name in the sport. It was bad enough we had to compete with Bentleys and Bugattis and boats and $100 million whiskey companies. Now we got to compete with the silver lights and the silver screens and bright lights of Hollywood, man. But come back to your first love, Conor.
Chandler delivered yet another instant classic against Poirier at UFC 281. Iron had a really good start and appeared to be overwhelming Poirier with his pressure in the initial moments. However, the battle-tested Diamond stood his ground and turned the tide to earn a submission win in the third round. Would you like to see McGregor versus Chandler? Let us know in the comments section below. Alexander Volkanovski comments on why he expects upcoming Islam Makhachev clash to be a stand-up battle. Alexander Volkanovski recently gave a comment that he expects the upcoming clash against Islam Makhachev at UFC 284 to be a stand-up battle. The Australian wants to test Makhachev's overall skill set, as his team has been endorsing the Dagestani as a complete mixed martial artist. Islam Makhachev brought the UFC 155-pound strap back to Dagestan after defeating Charles Oliveira at UFC 280 last month. Makhachev called out Volkanovski for a fight on February 12, 2023 at the RHC Arena in Perth, Australia, with the #1 pound-for-pound status and 155-pound strap on the line. The UFC recently made the fight official, and the stage is now set for Alexander Volkanovski to chase double champ status. Speaking with Laura Senko on Quick Hits at UFC 281, Volkanovski previewed the upcoming fight with Makhachev.
Yeah, it was good. You know, obviously I'm stoked. It's a massive opportunity. Big challenge. You know, Islam's a great fighter, but I love a challenge. You know, that's what I've been doing my whole life. I've always been undersized and all this. People are going to throw that at me. I'm like, beautiful, bring it on. I'm the right man for the job. You know what I mean? Definitely am. I think obviously strategy and all that goes a long way. And I am very hard to hold down. So I'm expecting a stand-up battle. Let's see how good his striking is. Supposedly he's well-rounded, so we'll see.
Do you believe this fight could be a stand-up battle, or will it go down to the wrestling? Let us know in the comments. Kevin Holland details his backstage scuffle with Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 279. In his characteristic manner, Kevin Holland admitted that he's staying away from Khamzat Chimaev after detailing what happened during their backstage scuffle in the build-up to UFC 279. Prior to the pre-fight press conference at UFC 279, Trailblazer got into a confrontation with the undefeated Chechen, which led to hands being thrown. Due to a number of backstage altercations, Dana White was forced to cancel one of the most highly anticipated press conferences in recent history. While speaking with the Schmo, Kevin Holland jokingly insisted that he needs to stay away from Khamzat Chimaev.
But one final question on it. Did you start things or did you finish things with Khamzat Chimaev backstage?
No, it seems like he always finishes things. He starts them, finishes them. He's just fucking me up, you know? I'm staying away from that guy.
You think he's a future champion?
You know, as long as he keeps his weight under control, yeah, 170 pounds, you know, sky's the limit. 185 pounds, we'll see.
Would you like to see a rematch between Kevin Holland and Khamzat? Knowing how controversial the start of their last fight was it even controversial? You be the judge of that. The mixed martial arts world mourns death of 2 times UFC title challenger Anthony "Rumble" Johnson. We are all in complete shock as word broke that former light heavyweight UFC title challenger Anthony Johnson has tragically passed away. Known for his devastating knockout power that set the light heavyweight division on fire in the back half of the 2010s, facing Daniel Cormier for the title once in 2015 and again in 2017. The illness that Anthony Johnson was battling had been taking a toll on him, with word breaking from his manager that his condition was getting quite serious. Unfortunately, those rumors would be just the beginning, as word broke on Twitter on November 13th that Rumble had passed away due to this sickness. Horrible news. Anthony "Rumble" Johnson passed away today. He was 38 years old. Johnson had been battling an illness for quite some time. One of the hardest hitters and most talented fighters in mixed martial arts history, gone way too soon. May he rest in peace, reported Ariel Helwani. This is truly tragic news that has shaken the mixed martial arts community down to its core. Here at MMA Gold News, we would like to offer our sincerest condolences to the friends and family of Anthony "Rumble" Johnson, as he will surely be missed. That's all for today's video. If you want to know the latest UFC news, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell, and click the like button so you don't miss any details about the upcoming fights. Thanks for watching. See you soon.